Good afternoon, students. Today we are dealing with unit number one. So, unit number one having syllabus like it is named as Introduction to DBMS, that is Database Management System. And we have to cover regarding what is DBMS and what is purpose of DBMS, what is data abstraction, which are different blocks present in architecture of DBMS. So these are the points of unit number one, as well as we have to deal with RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System. And whenever we are saying that it is relational DBMS, then we are dealing with a table. So a table contains rows and columns. So all these things we have to study in this relational model, as well as we have to deal with ER model, that is entity relationship model, in case of this unit number one. What is ER model? How to go for drawing an ER diagram for a particular given scenario, and how to go for converting that ER diagram into table, we have to deal with in this unit number one. So we have to start with introduction to DBMS. So a database management system is collection of set of programs and data, and these programs are useful for manipulating data present in a database. So use of this particular DBMS system is that it is useful for as a collection of interrelated data, as well as it is useful for as a storage of that particular data, and it contains set of programs which is in SQL language for accessing those data. So everyone carefully listen here. DBMS provide a security from the unauthorized access. Hence, and security is an important feature whenever we are going for DBMS, and we can manage this database system uh, through one particular person, and that person is known as database administrator. Database administrator is an important person whenever we are going for DBMS, and who is responsible for number of works to be done, like designing a structure of database management system, which is called as a schema, SCHEMA. This is a word which indicate the structure of database management system. Then another work for DBA is accessing data to the user. There are different types of user like naive users, then there are sophisticated users, application programmers. All these are different types of users present in database management system, and access to all these users are given according to their requirement. DBMS supports data abstraction. Anyone you can tell me what is data abstraction? Anyone unmute yourself and tell me what is data abstraction?
Overview of data.
Okay, so data abstraction is the process in which only overview of data is given to the user. It means that in other way, the in detail information of data is hiding from the user. So this process is called as data abstraction. All of you are getting this definition of data abstraction? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we had written an ADT. ADT is again a concept related to data abstraction. So ADT is nothing but abstract data type. We had written a stack as ADT, queue as ADT, linked list as ADT, array as ADT. So that ADT gives the overview of that data structure. It doesn't give in detail information related to that data structure. So similarly, a database management system follow a data abstraction process. So whenever, for example, we suppose I am having a bank account, and in respect to particular bank, and I can access data related to my account only, means account number and the balance and so on. I cannot access the account number of all other or the information related to other persons or other bank account holders. So this is called as a data abstraction process, and which follows or which is an important feature of an DBMS. And all these works or managing of database management system is done by using a particular person called as a database administrator. So this is a particular diagram of an database, general diagram of a database management system, which contain data, and data is stored in a servers. Means there are computers having large amount of capacity to store, and it is also called as a data repository. So data repository means there is a place which we have useful for storing data. There is one particular word called as a data warehouse. So data warehouse. So anyone, you can tell me what is general meaning of warehouse? Warehouse means what?
Where things are stored.
Okay, warehouse is a particular place where things are stored. So whenever we are going for a word called as a data warehouse, so data warehouse is a particular place where data are stored. Data is stored means where servers are present. So whenever we are going, for example, Google having a data warehouse at Hyderabad, so all the servers of Google are stored at that particular place. So this is called as a data warehouse, which is useful for data storing purpose. Then it required a software for accessing those data and for manipulating data present in the server using different queries. We can say that a program or the code or the different line program in a SQL, it is called as a queries. And there are a number of statements that can be useful for manipulating data present in a database. Like you can go for insert, create, delete, update, modify. All these are different SQL statements, and for that purpose we can use an MySQL software. And the outer end of this particular block diagram indicate there are application programmers and there are users. So application programmers write a query for doing something or doing a particular operation using an MySQL software, and that particular thing can be useful for an user. So this is a block diagram of an database management system. It is a general one, not a detailed one. Whenever we are going for architecture of a database management system, then we have to go for in detail block diagram. Then what is the need of database management system? As I said earlier, it is useful for maintaining large amount of data, and that such data is called as a big data. For example, if you want to go for maintaining data of student of an Imperial College of Engineering, then it may be possible that you can go for a flat file system. That is a traditional way for managing a database. But whenever we are going for managing a data of university contain a more number of college under that, and the data of university is very huge as compared to the data of a single college. So whenever we are going for maintaining such data, the traditional flat file system is not useful. So instead of that, we have to go for using that DBMS, that is database management system. Database management system is it is involved in after 1990s. Means before that, what we are using for managing a database, no doubt we are going for using a flat file system for managing a database, and there are certain limitations or drawbacks for a flat file system. Like in early days, database applications were built directly on the top of flat file system, and which leads to these drawbacks. So first drawback is data redundancy and inconsistency. So redundancy means multiple file format, means the same data is present in a number of folders. It may be possible that whenever we are going for your particular laptop contain number of folders, and it may be possible that the same data is present in number of folders in your laptop. So that is called as a data redundancies, or we can say that it is a duplication of information in different file. So all of you are getting what is data redundancy? All of you are getting what is data redundancy here?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
what a data redundancy indicate? It indicate duplication of data due to a storage of data in multiple folders or multiple formats. So this is an drawback of a flat file system. We have another drawback like difficulty in accessing data. So here we have to write a new program to carry out each new task in case of this particular data accessing using a flat file system. Then data isolation. So isolation means it should be separation. So multiple files and formats and scattered data, that should be happen in case of flat file system, which is not present in case of this DBMS, so which is an drawback of an flat file system. Also, it having certain integrity problems like data values stored in database must satisfy certain types of consistency constraint, and we cannot apply constraints on a flat file system, but that constraint can be applied in case of DBMS. Anyone you can tell me what is meaning of word constraint? General meaning of word constraint. Anyone unmute yourself and tell me what is general meaning of word constraint?
Limitations.
No, constraint is not a limitation. Any other answer?
Restriction.
Restriction, or we can say that, in other words, we can say that constraint means conditions. We have to apply certain conditions. If that condition is satisfied, then and then only that operation is performed. All of you are getting what I'm saying. If I want to fetch a data from a database, then I am applying constraint like suppose there is a database of a particular bank. So I'm applying constraint like fetch a data where account balance is it should be greater than 0 or less than 0. So according to that constraint, certain records get fetched from that database. So all of you are getting meaning of constraint? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so here we can apply number of constraint, and then there are number of clauses are useful for this but applying the constraint. Like you can go for using where clause, you can go for different constraint like is null, or there is a is okay. All these are different constraint or conditions which we can apply using an SQL statement for retrieving particular type of data only. And this is possible in case of DBMS, and it is not possible on a flat file system. So that is a drawback of a flat file system. Again, there is one more drawback like atomicity of updates. So here, in case of whenever we are going for a DBMS, so either the transaction is complete or it is not exist. There is no in between state that should be present, but it may be possible that in flat file system, the transaction is in pending mode. So failure may leave database in inconsistent state with the partial update carried out. For example, transfer of funds from one account to other account should either complete or not happen at all. There is no in between state like the transaction is pending. So this can be applicable in case of DBMS, but it is not possible in case of flat file system. So this is again a drawback of flat file system. For example, you are doing an ATM transaction. So either that transaction is complete or it should be not happen at all. So there is only these two states can be possible in case of DBMS. Like we can say that there is no in between statements. Transaction is in running or transaction is in pending mode. So this can be possible whenever we are going for DBMS, and that is drawback of flat file system. Then concurrent access by multiple users. So it may be possible that whenever we are using flat file system, that file system can be handled by more persons or more peoples, and it may be possible that unauthorized access to that file, it is easily available using a flat file system. But whenever we are going for database management system, if you want to go accessing any data in a database management system, you have to go for an authorized access only. Means who give the authorized access? Anyone you can tell me? Who give the access permission to the user?
DBA.
Okay, so this answer is correct. The database administrator only give the authorized access to the user, and it may indicate that the any doubt in this? Please mute yourself. Any problem? Okay, everyone listen here. A DBMS provide a security from an unauthorized access, but it is not provided by using a flat file system. So this is a drawback of an flat file system, and hence due to the unauthorized access, security problems are present in case of flat file system. And database management system offer solution to all above problems. Hence, whenever we are going for managing a large amount of data, we are using database management system. Anyone, you can tell me if I having small amount of data, can I use a database management system for managing that? Anyone unmute yourself and tell me, I'm having small amount of data and can I use the database management system for managing that data? Anyone unmute yourself and tell me, my question is, I'm having small amount of data and I have to go for managing them. So can I use DBMS for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other answer? Okay. So answer is for small amount of data, I am not using database management system. So for example, suppose I have to maintain your attendance. So can I use a database management system for that? Yes or no? Can I use database management system for maintaining your attendance? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, so whenever the size of data is large and it is not handled by a flat file system, then and then only you can go for using a database management system. And in general, whenever we are going for an company, the company generates the lots amount of data, so they uses database management system. Again, I can say that cost of database management system is higher as compared to the cost of flat file system. So whenever your data is small, then there is no waste or no use of this database management system. You can go for using an flat file system for managing small amount of data, but whenever the data is very large, then you can go for database management system surely. So see here, this is a comparison between DBMS and flat file system. So this comparison is based on number of parameters, like definition of DBMS is a collection of interrelated data and software programs to access those data, whereas a flat file system stores data in a plain text file. Here the records are specified in a single line. And data redundancy, there is a problem in data redundancy, means data duplication in case of flat file system, but there is no problem of data redundancy or separation of data should be possible in case of DBMS. But whenever we go for cost of DBMS, so DBMS software are very costly and also regular updates required for that software. And whenever we are going for flat file system, they are cost effective. So one can say that you are using an flat file system to maintain data whenever data size is small, and whenever the data size is large, means in case of big data, then you can go for using this DBMS. So use of this DBMS is mostly large organization uses DBMS who can afford it and have a large number of client and employees to be managed. Like for example, for Imperial College of Engineering, we are not using DBMS software, but for maintaining university data, SPPU uses DBMS, and smaller organizations use it as it cost effective and who have to deal with the small number of clients and employees. So this is about comparison. And again, there is a comparison based on view. So views are created and employee can't see all information available. Hence, there is a security, means there is no unauthorized access using in DBMS. But whenever we are going for flat file system, any information can be seen by anyone. Hence, there is a no security. So all of you are getting this difference between DBMS and flat file system, which is used in earlier days. All of you are getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is about comparison in between that flat file system and DBMS. Now we have to move further, which are different applications or which are different areas in which DBMS is used. So it is used in enterprise information. Enterprise information means enterprise means company. So there are different factors like sales, accounting, human resource, manufacturing, and all these data related to all these factors can be maintained using an DBMS software. So for example, sales for customers, product and purchase information, it can be managed using DBMS. For accounting, in terms of payments, receipt, account balance, asset, and other accounting information managed by DBMS. And all these different areas of company can be managed, or the data present in all these sectors can be managed using DBMS. Then it is used in banking and finance. For banking, customer information, accounts, loans, and banking transaction, it can be managed using DBMS. Credit and transaction and finance cases sectors also it should be used. And again, it is used in universities for managing student information, course registration, grades, and so on. It is useful for airlines for reservation and schedule info. Similarly, it is used in telecommunication for managing call records, monthly bills, information of communication network, and so on. So for managing large amount of data in all these sectors, we're using database management system. So all of you are getting these applications of database management system? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I will show you one video on this. Carefully listen here.
Hello guys, welcome you all to this new video. Today we will simplify the concepts of database and DBMS. So let's start the video. Database is about data, so before we see what database is, we will see what is data. Data is simply information about something like, for example, your name, your age, your height, your weight, mobile number, etc. So basically this is information about you. That means this is data about you. Let us consider another example, say mobile. So company who built the mobile, price of the mobile, mobile model name, information about storage, battery backup, processor, etc. So this all is the data about the mobile. Data can be in many formats, like numbers, texts, pictures, audio, video, etc. So now we will see what is a database. The definition states that database is a collection of related data stored electronically in a systematic manner. So let's simplify the definition. It is a collection of related data. That means if we consider a college, there will be data of courses, teachers, students, etc. which will be related to each other. There will be a particular teacher teaching a particular course to students. There will be students taking different course. So to make a database of a college, we need to collect all the data about courses, teachers, students, etc. which will be interrelated with each other. Stored electronically in computer system. This means data is stored in computer system in electronic manner. It is stored in data servers. For example, before we had to fill a paper form and submit it by going to the college. Nowadays you need to fill an online form to apply in a college. That means your data filled in online form is stored electronically in college database. In a systematic manner. In database, data is stored or arranged in systematic manner. Data is stored in tables, in row and column format. Data is not stored anyhow. Let us see one example of database. So in this example we have considered a small database of a company. There are two tables present in it. One is department table and another one is an employee table. These are the attributes of the table. For example, if we make a table of students, then roll number, name, class, division will be its attributes. These are the rows of table. Each row is one individual record. These are the columns of the table. One individual record in table is also called as tuple. Now we will see what is DBMS. DBMS is Database Management System. So basically it is a system used to manage the database. We users interact with the database with DBMS. When you have a database you need to manage it, like you need to insert data, update the existing data, delete unwanted data. You need to make sure who has access to the data. This is all done by using the DBMS, that is Database Management System. Control access. With DBMS we can decide who can access the data and how much of data can someone access. For example, if there is a college database, then each student must have access to only his or her own data. On other hand, teacher can have access to all students' data. This can be managed through DBMS. Manipulate data. If we want to insert new data, or update existing data, or delete unwanted data, or any other operation on the database, we can perform using DBMS. Representation of data. The data stored in the database is very well defined using DBMS. So we saw what is database and database management system in this video. If you have any queries or suggestions, comment below.
So I hope you understand about the database management system and where it is used.